Good morning, this is Jeff at Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at 9232 Southwest Vermilion Drive here in Tualatin. Located at the front of the house, we are sitting right in front of the front door. You've got a 4-inch ABS clean out here that hides under a little brass cover plate. Hopefully the builder puts the screws into that at some point. It didn't have them when I got here, but it's always a good idea to keep from popping loose. Anyhow, we're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running. We're going to zero out here at the base of the clean out, and off we go. Camera right now is upside down, so the water is overhead. Making a little bit of a jaunt here now. I'm going to turn to head towards the driveway. I think I noticed you have a secondary access point in the driveway too. Big steel cover plate out there. It has a second clean out underneath it, or typically does anyway. Making a transition here over to 4-inch 3034 PVC pipe. So far, nice looking sewer line. So what we're going underneath right now, so at the bottom of the screen right now is the top of the pipe. That's the secondary access point tying in. That's out in the driveway there, and I'll figure out which one it is. I believe you've got one for the storm system as well. Alright, there's the main lateral connection. About 72 feet. Nice looking sewer line so far. We're going to give it another look over here as we come back in. Once the line's drained out, I'm going to go locate the camera head. I'm going to pull up to the top of the drop here just to get a better locate. Alrighty, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates on Southwest Vermilion Drive. As your line makes its way out to the road, as you are facing the front of this house from the street, line exits out of the home right underneath the front door. Travels up in a straight line in that direction, and then it jaunts under the full width of the driveway, moving from right to left. You'll notice at the front left corner of the driveway, or near there anyway, on the far left side of the driveway, you'll see that big steel cover plate. That's the sewer access, the secondary. You've got another identical looking one on the right side of the driveway. That one is your storm system access. And if you ever forget, it's really easy to figure it out. If you go stand out in the street and look at the street curb, you'll see a double S stamped in the curb for sanitary sewer, and then on the other side you'll see a D, and that stands for drain, storm drain system. And that right there is the most, I've cameraed over 25,000 sewer lines, thousands and thousands of which are new construction. This right here is the most common problem area on new construction in general. That secondary access point is almost always in a sidewalk or a driveway, and very commonly they're left uncapped during the concrete pouring. And so what ends up happening is they'll pour a whole bunch of concrete or get a bunch of quarter minus gravel down inside that clean out. This little thing sticking off the joint right here is a thin little piece of pipe glue. That'll break off. It's already kind of in the process here, but actually I think I snapped it off there, in case you were wondering what that was. And that's pretty common stuff to see on new construction. And we finally made it to a better spot. During the pandemic, those 2 years were by far, I'm talking 90% of every new construction house I looked at needed hydrojetting to avoid a backup the first time you flushed the toilet. It was that bad. It didn't matter what part of town I was in, that clean out, that secondary was just, most of it was gravel getting poured down the line. You can imagine how well water and debris gets around 100 pounds of gravel going down your sewer. Alright, everything from the clean out access to the main lateral connection looks great. Line drains off beautifully, zero settling whatsoever, no debris in the line. We're now going backwards towards the home. And this is where we're going to end up stopping up here. That right there, that white plate, that's called a knockout plate. On the other side of that is a clean out cap. That's just a temporary cover that covers that spot up before they put a cap over the top of it. That way debris doesn't get inside the line during the construction process. So if you go open up that clean out for whatever reason in the crawl space, you'll see that plate there. You can just take a screwdriver and punch it out and rip it out of the line. It's designed to do that. Should you ever need to, anyway. Anyhow, very nice looking sewer line. Zero settling going back to the foundation wall. There's some more branches of pipe that go beyond that. My camera won't navigate up those. But at that point, that's all exposed plumbing in the crawl space. That's stuff the home inspector can crawl right up to and look at for leaks and things of that nature. As for all the underground pipe, every inch of it looks fantastic. Clean, drains beautifully, no issues whatsoever. Line is functioning properly at this time.